become such a important and useful convening tool. And what's really exciting is it's a way to convene nonprofits and technologists, civil society and government in ways that are constructive and focused on real problems. It's really exciting stuff. I thought I'd just take a couple minutes and talk about open data. I actually helped coordinate and lead the President's Open Data Initiatives in the US. And so I thought, as the subject of this TechCamp is open data, I'll just give a few comments and remarks in that field. The President is extremely committed to open data, and in fact, he had signed an executive order in May of this year, making open and machine-readable the new default for government information, while continuing to protect privacy and security. And this is a pretty exciting shift, saying that for new information systems, new programs, the default is open and machine-readable. And then you work your way backwards if you have certain privacy or other challenges about it not being fully open. Additionally, one of the things that we're doing is, for the first time, agencies are inventorying their data assets. Data really is a strategic asset, and we shouldn't be thinking about data just at time of dissemination. When you think about all the federal agencies in the U.S. government, we don't want to be thinking about open data just at time of data publication. We should actually be thinking about openness from the beginning. And we should be thinking about managing our data as a strategic asset. And so we actually inventory desk chairs, we inventory computers, right? We should actually inventory our data assets. And what's really exciting is the use of the data assets. Because data by itself doesn't do anything, right? You can't pour data on a wound. Data doesn't do development by itself. Data doesn't teach my children or make my home more energy efficient. Data is the fuel for applications, for services, for initiatives, for nonprofits, for governments, for NGOs. It is this fuel, and its use is what's so important. And that's why I'm so fired up about TechCamp, is because there really is this great focus on the use of open data. I'm really excited to say that yesterday, with the UK government and over 40 partners, including corporations, academia, and civil society, we launched an open data initiative in the global agriculture and nutrition space. This is a really exciting initiative, and again, what's exciting is not all of the policy and the grand kind of statements, but the use of agriculture and nutrition data. The use of it by a farmer in a developing country or here in the US to actually make decisions about which crops to plant, to be able to kind of go after higher profit crops, or thinking about the infrastructure that's coming in place and then making crop decisions that way. So that's really, really exciting. We also, as part of our National Action Plan preview that we launched yesterday, we also have a series of commitments on open data, including data for data for disaster recovery. And I think that's actually a really interesting use of open data. Is at time of natural disaster or other type of calamity, there's usually this great influx of tech talent and people who want to volunteer. But there's also an opportunity to think about this before the natural disaster happens, the famine, the flood, the severe weather, etc. And so how can we open up our data? How can we engage the tech community, the civil society community before those particular disasters happen? And so domestically anyway, our Federal Emergency Management Agency has an open FEMA program, and they're very focused on engaging the tech community with this type of data to think about the tools and services that can be built before a disaster happens. So I'm really excited about all the things that you guys are doing. I'm sorry that I actually can't stick around for the good stuff, because the good stuff is actually meeting the trainers and the folks who are using open data in really creative ways. But again, thank you for all that you do, and this will be a fun session here.